I've transmigrated into a book again. This time it's the male lead who is a put-upon house husband, a good-for-nothing and naturally popular with women. My wife, Sophia, has a fake younger brother, Liam. My wife just likes him and made him her assistant. Together, every day, just missing going home to bed. On the first day, I entered the book. It happened to be the wife's first time bringing her pretend little brother home. The third party's first visit gave the male lead a show of force. The male lead was slapped by his wife and framed. The male lead flew into impotent rage and used his ultimate weapon. Let's get a divorce, Sophia. I don't love you anymore. Phew, I don't smoke, but the male lead does. He used to smoke often, then quit for his wife and daughter. I'm really curious. A man could even quit smoking. So how could he allow a third party to keep provoking him? Could it be that the original owner had other hobbies? I exhaled another lungless puff of smoke. Click! The smart lock opened. Liam supported my wife, Sophia, as he came in. Hello, brother-in-law. I'm Liam, Sophia's pretend little brother, and also her assistant. I think I didn't hear clearly. It sounded like he emphasized the word pretend quite strongly. Sophia was drunk. She saw me through bleary, drunken eyes and immediately pushed Liam away, trying to squeeze into my embrace. Disgusting. I stepped back and exhaled a puff of smoke in her face. Sit on the couch yourself. I got you a foreign hangover drink. Sophia saw me caring so much for her, gave a little laugh, and looked very happy. Sat obediently on the sofa. Her fake younger brother, however, didn't leave. According to the original plot, he followed me into the kitchen. The scene of him trying to frame me to get himself killed was about to happen. I remained completely calm. Brother-in-law, today with my help, Sophia secured a $1 billion order. At the celebration, she rewarded me with a watch on the spot, worth $2 million. Really must thank brother-in-law for silently supporting Sophia behind the scenes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be by her side every day. T-Talk, this guy's methods really do beat mine by 1,000 times. Liam watched me keep silent while smoking. He sneaked a smile, a look of barely concealed contempt and jealousy. Brother-in-law, true to your professional house husband status, this foreign hangover drink smells fragrant just from the scent. Liam began to follow the plot. He picked up the boiling kettle and poured it into the bowl. Took another half bowl of cold water and mixed it in. Splashed it onto his own hand. Brother-in-law, how could you burn me like that? I'm sorry, brother-in-law, don't hit me. Liam shouted and yelled while looking at me with a face full of ridicule. Holding a kettle in one hand, he still wanted to pour it over me. I sneered. Does he really think I made a foreign hangover drink for Sophia? How funny. I prepared it for you. The flame on the cigarette flashed a red star. I flicked it casually, and it landed right on the hand of the kettle Liam was holding. He flinched from the scald, instinctively startled, but didn't drop the kettle. Yet he took a small step back, and that step landed right on a patch of grease. In an instant, his foot slipped. With the water he had splashed on himself earlier, his body could no longer stay balanced. With a duong, his body slammed into the ground. It really sounded whoosh whoosh. Worse still, what he was holding was a kettle of hot water. Now it's all spilled onto him. Then, waves of intense wailing echoed through the houses of the upscale villa community. Oh, I slowly exhaled a puff of smoke. See? I told you the foreign hangover drink was made for you. It was made for you. Not a single drop, less can be drunk. Honey, what's wrong with you? Sophia followed the script, arriving late. She watched the scene before her in shock. Clearly, her husband had knocked over her fake younger brother and poured a kettle of hot water on him. Ethan, how can you be so cruel? Sophia was a powerful businesswoman. Her anger flared and she slapped me. Bang! I'm a transmigrator into a novel, so there's no way I'll take that slap following the original plot. I kicked her in the stomach. It was hard, very forceful. Sophia instantly fell backward and landed on her, but the alcohol and food scraps in my stomach all came spewing out. It was both foul-smelling and filthy. I covered my nose in disgust. I took out my phone and dialed emergency services. I also took a few photos of the two of them. Perfect, truly beautiful. Liam kept wailing, trying to get up, but couldn't. Sophia vomited as she looked at me, shocked and panicked. She seemed to be wondering where her husband, who dotes on her, loves her, and would never bring himself to hit her, had gone. In a high-end villa district, the ambulance arrived sooner than expected. Liam was carried away, and before leaving, he still dared to provoke me. "Sophia, I'm scared. Please come with me to the hospital." Sophia clutched her stomach and could barely stand. She wanted to go, but her body wouldn't allow it, and she was afraid of upsetting me. So she didn't speak, only urging the doctor and nurses to hurry and carry the patient away. "Honey, you come to the hospital with me. Apologize properly to Liam, or he'll have you thrown in jail." I sneered and gave her a contemptuous look. I exhaled another puff of smoke. "If you go to jail, think about how much it will affect your daughter, Chloe. Sophia knows exactly where my soft spots are. But I don't care." I tossed a copy of the agreement to her. "Sign it." Sophia picked it up and saw it was a divorce agreement. Her face changed drastically. She couldn't believe it. Her mind went blank. In a daze, she heard herself ask, "Husband, are you really going to divorce me?" She saw the loving, tender look her husband used to have. Now there was only coldness and desolation. Sophia was desperate. She tore the divorce papers to shreds. That night, she didn't go anywhere. She stood guard outside my bedroom door, refusing to leave. She cried all night. The police arrived slower than expected. The next morning, I was taken to the local police station, and my wife, Sophia, had gone out because of an urgent matter at the company. In fact, she had gone to the hospital to take care of Liam. This is how it's set in the book. Sophia, this paper-thin character, is like a programmed role. She can only follow her script. Pathetic. What a disgusting storyline. The officer thought I had deliberately burned Liam based on his injury assessment report. I might have criminal liability, but I wasn't in a hurry. But the lawyer I hired is one of the most famous in South County, Mr. Daniel. He provided the police with the accident scene video from last night. The video was shot very clearly. Everything could be seen and heard clearly. The entire process of how Liam set me up and then suffered the consequences himself. The investigating officers originally thought it was a criminal case and were quite pleased. It turned out the victim had staged the whole thing. The accused didn't move at all during the entire incident. I sneered coldly in my heart. I didn't move because I planned to stay behind the camera, so they wouldn't catch the motion of me flicking ash and Liam stepping in the olive oil. No one knew that all of this had been arranged by me. Just like before, no one believed I would kick Sophia. "Honey, I got Liam's letter of forgiveness." Sophia barged into the police station, followed by the legal team from her company, Taylor Group. At my signal, Daniel stepped forward and stood in front of me. "Ms. Taylor, I represent my client, Mr. Johnson. I'm suing your so-called brother Liam for spreading rumors, defamation, and framing my client. And Mr. Johnson and your divorce." Divorce? The moment she heard divorce, Sophia felt as if her system had malfunctioned. Forcibly torn free from the author's character's setup, she briefly came to her senses. "I won't divorce. I'll never divorce in my life." I had just transmigrated into the book and felt no love for Sophia. But I'm someone who cares about looks, and there's also my daughter Chloe. She softened my heart. After all, this can't be blamed on Sophia. Her character was predetermined. It was the author who insisted on tormenting the male lead and the readers. It seems unreasonable, but it was designed that way by the author. The more suppressed the early stages are, the more satisfying the later stages will be. I actually didn't finish this book. I skimmed the table of contents page by page. My understanding of the plot comes from the comments section. No matter how much Sophia loves me, she will still continue to protect her fake little brother, even if she and I get divorced. Now she was tired of crying, had made enough of a scene, and the officer showed her the surveillance footage. But she said one thing: "Liam is still a child. He just wants my attention too much. Honey, don't be mad. I'll fire him later." Nobody believed that. Sophia kept quiet for a month. He goes to and from work on time every day and takes meticulous care of me and our daughter Chloe. I want a divorce, but all sorts of methods and people stand in the way. I understand now. They're trying to force me to finish the storyline. There's nothing I can do. I can only keep being our household cook. and the relationship between Sophia and me seemed to have returned to our honeymoon phase. The author had depicted Sophia as if she were a fairy, and I certainly wasn't going to waste that. Endless days and nights of revelry. Sophia, even, to flatter me, sent her daughter to her sister Olivia's place. We were in the villa. The bedroom, the balcony, the kitchen, the living room. A month passed, and I lost several pounds. My legs grew weak. When I walked, I instinctively cupped my kidneys. I understood one thing. So it turns out a woman's week-long menstrual period isn't to protect women, but to take care of men. In contrast, Sophia, well-fed, glowing white, and so tender it's dripping. Life seemed calm, but I knew that beneath the tranquil surface, a storm was coming. Sure enough, another wave of melodrama arrived. Liam was going to be discharged from the hospital. I don't know what he said this time, but Sophia personally came to pick him up from the hospital. Same as the original plot, but more exaggerated. It seems Sophia bought him a car and a house to make it up to Liam. I had someone take a few candid photos. Almost got sick to death. Half of Liam's face looked as if it had been run over by a wheel. Pitted and uneven like crumpled toilet paper. He was already ugly to begin with. Now he looked even more terrifying. I really don't know what kind of heart Sophia has. Faced with a man like that, she kept rushing to help him again and again. Like a bootlicker, that day she didn't get home until very late. A scent of goo-long cologne on him, and a sharp smell of medicinal ointment. She came back wanting to hug me. I threw up on the spot. Really threw up. Spat at her feet. Everything went without saying. Her expression was amusing. Now pale, now flushed, then darkening. Finally, it became ashen. Husband, I once again tentatively took out the divorce papers, but some unseen force seemed to be intervening. Sophia tore up the agreement, dove into the bathroom, and stayed there washing for 2 hours. When she came out, she seemed completely drained. Kneeling in front of me, she got 2 sharp slaps. Husband, I truly love you. I really only regard Liam as my brother. He was harmed in our house. I bought a car and a house just to compensate him. He's still young, and he's been disfigured. If I don't take care of him, he'll kill himself. I hadn't finished speaking when the phone rang. I glanced at it. It was Liam. I sneered. Pick it up. Someone's calling who wants to kill themselves. Sophia forced her hand hold on, biting her lip hard, her whole body trembling. It looked like she was undergoing an intense psychological battle. After a long while, she breathed out, "Honey, I'm not going to answer his calls." But I shook my head. Sophia, you can't fight your fate. Just like I can't divorce you now. The call ended on its own, and Liam sent another message. The phone popped up. Sophia, see you in the next life. Sophia could no longer control herself, grabbed her phone, and ran out. She left one sentence. Honey, I'll be back soon. I knew she wouldn't be coming back today. Looking at the empty house. I packed my clothes, grabbed my suitcase, and turned to leave. I went to sister-in-law Olivia's house. In the original plot, I would have had a relationship with her and ended up together. But right now, I really don't have that thought. I just want a divorce from Sophia, get custody of my daughter Chloe, and stay far away from these awful plots. Olivia is a gentle, elegant woman. Her beauty no less than Sophia's. Did Sophia go to see Liam again? Ethan, you have to trust her. She won't cheat, not emotionally either. I nodded. Olivia was right. Sophia really wouldn't cheat. About Sophia going to see Liam. I wasn't actually angry or hurt. After all, I had just transmigrated into the book, and we'd only been together for a month. People without feelings wouldn't care. Sis, made me a bowl of pasta. I was so disgusted by Sophia at dinner that I threw up. Olivia gave a wry smile. Why was her younger sister like this? She knew, but didn't dare tell me the truth. This troubled her. She didn't want to lie to me. But on one side was her sister, on the other her brother-in-law, and between them their daughter Chloe. She was in a real dilemma. At the dining table, Olivia quietly watched me eat. Actually, I know why Sophia can't bear to part with Liam. Olivia was extremely surprised, instinctively thinking I was trying to lead her into saying something. I ignored her reaction. Because Liam's eyes are exactly the same as her white moon, Noah. Right? Olivia covered her mouth in shock. How did you know? I sighed. Just because she had the same eyes as by Yue Guang, Sophia defended Liam in every way. What a ridiculous, insane plot. What left me speechless even more was that I ended up transmigrating into the male lead. I had to go crazy along with them. Big sis, what if I tell Sophia? Would she think it was you who told me? Olivia looked at me as if she were seeing me for the first time. She used to think I was meek and only good for being a male babysitter at home. And now I was actually plotting against her. She grew interested, a smile appearing on her face. Go on. What do you want to do? I looked into her eyes and said slowly and distinctly, I want to cheat on you. Olivia was startled, stepping back with her chair. No way. I knew she liked me, and I didn't mean to provoke her. I want a divorce. The Taylor family's power is too great. Whether it's an amicable divorce or a lawsuit, I can't win. And there's custody of our daughter Chloe. Since the mountain won't come to me, I'll go to the mountain. Ethan, if you do this, it will hurt Sophia and me. I retorted, you don't like me? Are you willing to let your sister keep making me sick? Do you want other women to become the children's stepmother? Am I the only choice you have? This is a harem novel, no cuckolding, and I seriously suspect the author deliberately wrote the female lead to be this unhinged. Just making up an excuse to start a harem. Ring, ring, ring. The moment the phone rang, I knew it was settled. I answered, put it on speaker, and a clear, pleasant female voice came from the phone. Ethan, I heard you're getting a divorce. Where are you now? What are you doing? I looked toward Olivia, who had been eavesdropping. I'm at my sister-in-law's house. I want to have an affair with her, but she hasn't agreed yet. The woman opposite uttered an exclamation. After a long silence, Ethan, I'll do it, I agree. Thank you, this is our family business. Olivia took the initiative to hang up on me. I'll only help you put on a cheating scene. I was bewildered. How was this supposed to be acted out? Soon I found out. Olivia pulled me into her bedroom. She took off her pajama jacket, revealing her fragrant shoulders and a silk slip. Pushed me onto the bed and took off my shirt. She sat on me, took out my phone, and snapped a few photos. Sent them to Sophia. Sophia, you really are the best woman in the world. I truly envy Ethan for being able to marry you. If I were your husband, I would rather live 10 years less. Liam's corny pickup lines came one after another. Anyone else hearing them would spit 3 gin of water. But Sophia looked shy and blushing. She was a normal person too. Seeing Liam's disfigured face made her feel sick. Yet as soon as she looked into his eyes, the same as that person's, she would lose herself in them, making Liam think he was so awesome, that he could even win the affection of a beautiful CEO. At that moment, Sophia's phone buzzed a few times. She glanced at it and saw it was a message from me. Just as she was about to open it, Liam exclaimed, ouch. Sophia, my chest is so itchy and painful. Is my skin ulcerating again? Sophia hurriedly put down her phone and brought Liam the ointment. After a long while, she finally coaxed Liam to sleep. Only then did she remember to check her phone. Just one look, and a fierce rage shot straight up to the crown of his head. Olivia, do you want to die? The angry voice made Liam, who had been pretending to sleep, startle awake. Seeing Sophia furious and about to leave, he could no longer pretend to be asleep. He hurriedly sat up and grabbed Sophia's arm. 2 tears of grievance fell. Sophia, didn't you say you would stay and sleep with me? Sophia, still angry, shook Liam's hand off and walked away without looking back. He shouted angrily, get lost. Who said I was going to sleep with you? Watching Sophia leave without a trace of reluctance, Liam's clenched fingers turned white. His eyes darkened as he looked at the scars on his body, and a vicious plan flashed through his mind. Sophia arrived later than I had expected. After Olivia and I finished taking photos, an ambiguous atmosphere rose between us. Olivia looked shy. I'm going to put the child to bed. I turned to block her. Sleep together. In the future, we'll sleep together. For now, let's rehearse. I wasn't lying, nor was I trying to coax her. In the original plot, Sophia and Olivia of the Taylor family were both among the male lead's harem. Olivia sighed softly, It's better that you and Sophia divorce. She really isn't worthy of you. No normal man would tolerate his wife spending all her time with another man. Ethan and Sophia's marriage continuing would only mean mutual torment. Sometime later, the two of them, still holding each other, fell into a deep sleep. Duong, duong. It wasn't until the two loud bangs that the pair were awakened. Olivia, you can get out here right now. Another loud crash, and the bedroom door was finally burst open. Sophia barged in. She happened to see her husband holding her own older sister, sleeping together. Sophia, furious to the point of madness, stormed to the bedside and pulled Olivia up. You're my sister. How can you be so shameless? How could you steal my husband? I quietly sat up and watched Sophia play out the scene with cold eyes. Counting the time, this plotline seems to have come earlier than expected. In the original story, this catching in the act scene seemed to happen only after the divorce. Olivia, though gentle, can also lose her temper. She slapped her sister across the face. The photo you hid, Ethan has already seen it. Why don't you let go of Liam? He knows too. You have a white moonlight in your heart. No, I don't. You're slandering me. Sophia covered her ears and took a step back until she backed into the corner. A great wave of terror swept over her. Her head spun and her ears roared. She fell to her knees and crawled on her knees to my feet. Her face was streaming with snot and tears. Husband, it's not like that. That person has been dead for 10 years. I only miss him. That's not love. He saved my life. I never had a romantic relationship with him. Liam, I waved my hand to cut her off. You've already seen me cheat with your own eyes. Let's get a divorce. I'll walk away with nothing, only asking for custody of our daughter Chloe. If you still won't agree to a divorce, then we'll just live separate lives, she said and finished. I stopped paying her any mind and got up to go to my daughter's room. Luckily, the room was far enough away and well soundproofed, so I didn't wake her. Sophia realized her husband really wanted a divorce. He would rather have an affair. She felt like the sky was falling. The overwhelming fear of losing her husband briefly freed her from a role. What white moonlight? What Liam? She wanted nothing more than to kill them. And sister Olivia. She glanced at the bed, immediately climbed up and threw back the covers. The sheets had no bloodstains. There was no smell on the covers. So clean there wasn't a single hair. Sophia giggled, like a fool and like a madwoman. She even wanted to take off Olivia's pajamas. Sis, let me check. Are you all putting on a show for me? I always knew my husband loves me the most. He would never cheat. Olivia crossed her arms and said sadly, You really do love your husband. A woman just called a moment ago. If I hadn't stopped Ethan, he's already slept with that woman. Sophia, get a divorce. His heart is no longer with you. Sophia cried out in despair. No, I would rather die than divorce. Sure enough, as long as the heroine doesn't divorce, I still can't leave. This plot is crazy. I have no control at all. As long as Sophia doesn't go to find Liam. She was just a normal, domineering, and clever female CEO. At times like this, even if I took my luggage and ran away from home, she could catch me and bring me back. Once, twice, I accepted my fate. I stayed on to continue following the plot. Sophia turned into a clingy obsessive, and I became her little accessory. She takes me everywhere she goes. If I dare to disobey, 2 black-suited bodyguards immediately come over. When she's in the mood, this bed buddy of mine has to get to work. The plot the author wrote is crazy, but the way Sophia is described is truly beautiful and seductive. I compromised again and again. Casual sex without feelings. Why not play while you can? That day, I finally had a little time to myself. Pick up my precious daughter, Chloe, from school. I'm very familiar with this stretch of road. I used to be the one who always picked her up and dropped her off. Because the children who attend this elite private school are either wealthy or from noble families. The road in front of the school is closed off at dismissal time. The parking lot is about 300 or 400 meters from here. I had just walked out of the parking lot not far from here. I was about to wait for a car and cross the road. A black sedan tore past. A white SUV was following closely behind. This familiar scene made me instinctively feel. I had experienced this scene before. The next second, a white car drove over from a distance. The driver seemed to be in a hurry. The speed was high. Someone behind me cursed, driving so fast on a two-lane road. Rushing to reincarnate or what? That remark was a wake-up call. The plot started up again. I hurriedly looked back, but didn't see the person I hoped to see. But I knew he was definitely there. The white car drew closer and was less than 5 meters from where I stood. A breath away. My heart pounded wildly, and in the next second it felt like a catastrophe was about to strike. The crushing weight made me feel as if I were trapped in place. But the instinct to survive forced me to will my body, and I managed to shift a small step to the left. Don't underestimate that tiny step. It saved my life. Just as I shifted my body, someone suddenly leapt out from behind me. The person was wearing a mask and a hat, and also a stand-collar trench coat, concealing themselves thoroughly. To the passers-by, as soon as I moved aside, that person darted from where I had been standing onto the road. Half a second later, bang! Then there was the sound of someone hitting the ground. The person who had just darted onto the road was struck and sent flying by the speeding white car. They landed on the ground and rolled several times. A mask, a hat, a phone, and a wristwatch scattered everywhere. I saw clearly. It wasn't someone else. It was Liam. Only then did I suddenly understand. It was a car accident plot. I was careless. If I hadn't acted on a sudden impulse earlier, the one line there would probably have been me. Still, seeing Liam's fate with my own eyes was, in its way, a great pleasure. Everyone, bear witness for me. He staged the accident. He staged it against me. Damn it, what an amateur scammer. Wait till I slow down next time before you pull that stunt. The driver hurled abuse at Liam and kept begging passers-by to testify for him. I watched with interest and did not leave the scene. I was waiting for someone. Sure enough, in less than a minute, Sophia hurried over in her high heels. She saw Liam lying on the ground at a glance. Startled, she immediately bent down to check his injuries. Unfortunately, she didn't understand. She only saw the blood everywhere and an unconscious Liam. Sophia panicked for a long time before finally remembering to call emergency services. When she called, the driver assumed she knew Liam. He hurried forward and grabbed her, scolding loudly. Is he your husband or your boyfriend? I'm telling you, he's faking it. He's faking it with me. Sophia was pulled by the driver, swaying left and right like a rag doll. She had just hung up the phone and was about to argue with the driver when she saw me. He immediately shoved the driver aside and stormed toward me. He came up and demanded, "Honey, did you push?" Smack! Before she could finish, I slapped her across the face, sending her sprawling to the ground. Taking advantage of the fact that she hadn't gotten up yet, I stepped forward and stamped on her face, forcing her face hard against the ground. Only then did the driver react. He was also the kind who bullied the weak and feared the strong. Seeing how savage I was, he tried hard to crawl into the car to hide. I waved at him. Send me a copy of the dash cam from your car. $10,000 US. You can't give too much. Give too many people money and they'll get greedy. When the driver heard there was such an easy payday, he immediately bent over and ran over with his phone. The phone remotely connected to his dash cam and found the replay from a moment ago. Cut it out and send it to me. $10,000 once it's in hand. The driver was very pleased. I was very pleased too. I bent over and put the phone to play the recording for Sophia. The dash cam happened to capture the moment I had just moved aside and Liam ran out into the road by himself. Obviously, if I hadn't moved just then, there would have been a 100% chance Liam would have been pushed into the road. So who would have been the one to get into the car accident? I blew a mouthful of smoke into Sophia's face and pushed off slightly with my foot. Feeling sober now? Sophia, we're completely finished. After saying that, I lifted my foot and left, ignoring the commotion at the scene. My daughter is home from school. I just dropped my daughter off at my sister-in-law Olivia's house. I found Sophia already sitting here. Olivia was there too. She crossed her arms and looked coldly at her sister. I feel very amazed. and also very strange. Shouldn't Sophia have gone to the hospital to take care of her fake little brother? The moment the daughter saw her mother, she immediately ran forward and into her mother's arms. "Mom, why is your face swollen?" Sophia looked at me aggrievedly, tears flowing down her face. "Mom accidentally got kicked by a donkey." My daughter, innocent and carefree, said, "It must be Mom's fault. Why does the donkey only kick Mom?" Sophia was stunned, so shocked she forgot to shed tears, and looked to her sister for help. Olivia sighed and soothed the child away. As soon as the child left, a familiar scene returned. Sophia knelt before me again, sobbing and tearfully trying to explain. "Husband, I think someone put a curse on me. Just now I think I saw my soul floating in the sky, watching my body about to hit you. Then it got beaten up by you again. I really didn't mean to hit you, but I don't know why it happened either. Honey, that slap of yours was amazing. It felt like it woke me up. I was already too lazy to waste words on Sophia." She was a preset character. No matter how much I said, she would still be controlled by the plot. Better to honestly see the story through to the end. Get up. Don't go around kneeling at the drop of a hat. I'm not an emperor. Sophia had gotten used to my personality during this time. Knowing I wasn't angry, she quickly scrambled to her feet and grabbed my arm. There's no such thing as who kneels and who doesn't between husband and wife. This is a bit of fun. You can't expect my husband to be kneeling behind but every day. This woman, don't misunderstand, in the original novel, she really has this kind of personality. Fine, Sophia's shameless personality really makes it hard to hate her. But the marriage still has to end. Sophia will never be a suitable wife. It's just that a divorce still needs a catalyst. This time Liam probably won't die. It'll just depend on what nonsense he stirs up next. Looking at Sophia's swollen, reddened face, I actually felt a bit sorry. Of course, I only felt sorry for her face, not for her as a person. Does your face still hurt? Let your sister put some medicine on it for you. Sophia shook her head at that and hugged me tightly with both hands. I sighed inwardly. This was all the author's doing. Sophia clearly loved her husband very much. The so-called white moonlight and Liam, this stand-in, have both become tools to drive the plot. Abuse the heroine, abuse the hero, abuse the readers. Perhaps it's because I didn't follow the plot entirely these last few times. Or perhaps my personality is very different from before. Even Sophia seemed a bit more clear-headed than in the original story. "Honey, I think I'm really cursed. You have to believe me. It seems that whenever I meet Liam, that person or receive a message from him, I would just become another Sophia. Just like the Sophia at the car crash scene today, she wasn't me, not the real me. I couldn't answer a question. It seemed like some force was intervening in this world. All I could do was hold her tightly. Can you promise me 3 things, husband?" I nodded. "Divorce is a must. That's out of the question." Sophia nodded. "If my mutation happens again, I promise you divorce. After the divorce, you have to marry my sister. As long as I don't cheat and don't commit any fundamental mistake, you can't leave me. I have no objections to those 3 conditions. Actually, Sophia would be best not as a wife, but as a hookup." Liam was hospitalized again, this time for more than a month. He was limping, disfigured, limping, unemployed. In the last car crash, even that $2 million watch was smashed. But all of that became his capital for playing the victim. He kept contacting Sophia incessantly, begging for meetings, gifts, care. Sophia dared not go, and did not want to go, but the money and gifts would be sent by someone. Until one day, Liam messaged saying it was his birthday today. He asked Sophia to spend one last birthday with him. Afterward, he would leave this city and never return. Sophia couldn't bear to hurt those eyes that were the same as her white moonlights. Hearing that it was the last time, she thought for a long time and still agreed. But this time she kept a caution. She knew to notify me in advance. "Honey, this is the last time I'll help him. I'm going to get rid of this burden." I didn't want to hear her explanation. Sophia was right. The moment she encountered Liam, she turned into a different Sophia. Emerald Manor, Liam's home. He had arranged the birthday party at his own house. He said his leg was lame and his face disfigured, so he didn't dare go out. Sophia's face showed pain, but her mind was only on those eyes. Liam, once your injury has healed, I'll send you abroad and get you fully treated. The two sat at the dining table. Liam raised his glass, moved to tears. Thank you, Sophia. I knew you were the only one in the whole world who cares for me the most. To this drink, I toast my beloved Sophia. After saying that, Liam briskly finished the glass of red wine. Sophia raised her glass to clink, then set it aside. Liam, you just got discharged from the hospital. Your health isn't fully recovered yet. Drink less. A wrong look appeared on Liam's face as he said plaintively, Sophia, why aren't you drinking? Didn't you say you'd celebrate my birthday with me? Sophia happily rubbed her belly. I've secretly been preparing to get pregnant lately. I want to give her brother-in-law a surprise. Don't tell him in advance. Liam's heart shattered. He watched the woman he loved most bear a child for another man. To him, it was no less than being sliced to death, his heart cut to pieces. He could no longer keep pretending. He grabbed Sophia's hand. Sophia, aren't you the one who loves me most? How could you have children with another man? Sophia, I can make you have a baby too. Let's go to the bedroom right now. Sophia heard his words and flew into a rage, wrenching her hand free and swinging back with a slap. Liam, what nonsense are you talking? Isn't it only natural that I bear children for my man? You're just my fake younger brother. At this moment, Liam's face was dark and fierce as he shouted toward Sophia. I don't believe it. You buy me cars and houses and accompany me shopping. Go to the hospital to take care of me. Arrange everything for me. He even agreed to accompany me back to my hometown and pretend to be my girlfriend. If all this isn't loving me, then what is? Tell me, how long has it been since you went shopping with your husband? You even hit your husband for me. Sophia was dazed, covered her ears, and backed away repeatedly. She looked at Liam in disbelief. Each sentence pierced her heart like a poisoned arrow. So it turned out she had done so many things that hurt her husband. How could she have done that? This isn't the real her, Sophia. She must have been bewitched. Someone is manipulating her, controlling what she does. She loves her husband so much. How could she agree to pretend to be another man's girlfriend? It's all Liam. He is the devil. He has been tempting me all along. Sophia looked at the man before her, those eyes she had once yearned for, filled with madness and desire, like a demon about to tear her apart. No longer the warm, hopeful eyes from her memories. Liam, I never imagined you were this kind of person. Our sibling relationship is hereby terminated. You must return everything I gave you exactly as it was, or you'll find out what the consequences are. After saying those words of severance, Sophia felt a clear calm in her mind. As if she had eaten a ginseng fruit, reborn, she picked up her bag and prepared to leave this filthy place. Sophia, if you walk out that door, you force me into this. Seeing Sophia about to leave, Liam could no longer hide. He shouted, and two men rushed out from the bedroom. Without a word, he grabbed Sophia and covered her nose with a wad of white cloth. When she woke again, she found herself tied up on some ocean freighter. She could vaguely still smell the briny scent of seawater. Looking around, she felt even more desperate. In the cabin, besides her, there were a dozen other women. They were all tightly bound, with filthy rags stuffed into their mouths, their expressions numb. As the CEO of the Taylor Group, Sophia could not be unaware of her current predicament. Tears ran down her cheeks, but she refused to give up. She would hold on until her husband came to save her. She vaguely seemed to hear Liam's voice. Mr. Jake, Sophia is the president of Taylor Group in Harbor City, with assets worth over $10 billion US. Aren't you going to squeeze her for a big sum? Other men laughed wantonly. Mr. Jake, the brothers have been holding back. Can you let us enjoy ourselves now? It seemed they were just waiting for Mr. Jake to speak. Don't rush. Once we're on the high seas, you can do whatever you want. Sophia's eyes were full of fearful tears, but she gritted her teeth and held them back. She had to save herself. She knew the tracker on her had certainly been removed, but as long as she didn't show up within 3 hours, the company's professional security team would initiate Level 1 procedures. And if her husband still cared about her, she should have been rescued long ago. Seeing the open sea ahead, the people on the ship grew excited. It was as if reaching the open sea would mean their escape to freedom. But accidents always arrive suddenly. They were two Coast Guard ships. They hailed them from a distance, ordering them to stop for inspection. Mr. Jake and his party hesitated. The open sea was only about 10 li ahead. They were a cargo ship far larger than the Coast Guard vessels. If they tried to force their way through, Mr. Jake's face was grimacing under the expectant gazes of the brothers. He collapsed weakly into his seat, powerless to give orders. Stop the ship. Submit to inspection. Everyone, pull yourselves together and follow my orders. If you can avoid using force, do not use force. Today's Coast Guard is not the same as the Coast Guard from decades ago. Often drifting at sea, Mr. Jake knew exactly what he should do now. He made a call, and he was blocked. He felt instant despair. The Coast Guard boarded the ship, clearly well prepared. They had almost no small talk. Once on board, she took control of all the crew, giving them no chance to fight back. If anyone dared to raise a hand, the Coast Guard would strike them with a rifle, but Liam was clearly encountering this situation for the first time. "Officer, I was..." Before he could finish speaking, a young man struck him in the mouth with a rifle, but 10 minutes later, Sophia was finally rescued. Seeing daylight again, tears of excitement welled up in her eyes. Looking around, she didn't see the person she wanted to see. A wave of overwhelming loss pierced her heart. Her husband really didn't want her anymore. This hurt her more than being kidnapped and sent to Southeast Asia. Returning to the Haigang City Coast Guard detachment, Sophia still hadn't seen her husband, but she saw the most unbelievable person here. It turned out to be the white moonlight she'd been thinking of for 10 years, Noah. When the two met again, Noah was very excited and wanted to step forward and embrace Sophia. For some reason, Sophia wasn't as excited as she had imagined. She even seemed sad that her husband hadn't come to pick her up. When she saw Noah come to embrace her, Sophia instinctively took a step back. "Noah, weren't you dead?" At this moment, Noah was completely different from the one she remembered. He could be described as elegant and handsome, impeccably dressed. In terms of temperament, far more so than her husband, Ethan. More handsome, more charming. But Sophia no longer felt any romantic feelings for him. In the original work, Sophia shot Noah in the head because he laid hands on their daughter. Then she killed herself. This shows Noah wasn't any kind of idealized love. She was just obsessed. It's just a melodramatic plot the author wrote. Noah hurried forward to explain how he had been resurrected. This part of the plot was still so cheesy. It turned out Noah hadn't actually died back then. On the contrary, he benefited from his fortune and went from an orphan to a wealthy young master of Kyoto City. He had simply lost his memory. He only recently recovered it. So he came to Haigang City to find Sophia. Unexpectedly, he happened upon her being kidnapped, contacted the Coast Guard, and chased after them all the way. After hearing Noah's explanation, Sophia covered her mouth and wept bitterly. So, it was Brother Noah who saved me once again. With no love in her heart, she felt unburdened. Sophia already understood her true feelings. In the original story, it was Liam whom Sophia personally killed. From this, it can be inferred that when she saw Noah, she no longer felt the kind of emotion associated with the first love. After all, Sophia is the CEO of Taylor Group. Putting aside the melodramatic plot the author force-fed her, her intelligence is still intact. Now she hates Liam with a passion, and that has led her to start doubting Noah as well. Because everything was too coincidental. "Ethan, are you just going to stand there and watch Sophia be set up?" I didn't answer Olivia's question. From when Sophia received Liam's call, saying it would be the last time she celebrated her birthday, Olivia and I didn't sit idle. We had already sent people to follow her long ago. We witnessed with our own eyes how she split with Liam, how she was drugged, and how she was secretly transferred onto a cargo ship. Olivia, worried about her sister's safety, tried many times to have the henchmen employed by the Taylor Group rescue her. but I stopped them all. Sophia is the story's primary female lead, and this is another book without cheating or affairs. So there's no need to worry about her safety. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Here comes the hero who saves the beauty. Noah, this mastermind behind the scenes, finally revealed himself. Olivia, of course, knew who Noah was. Seeing him appear, she contacted the Coast Guard and severed the ties between him and Liam. She couldn't possibly not guess who was behind all of this. Olivia, a team of bodyguards, and I stood at a distance and did not come forward to greet Sophia. Instead, we continued to watch Sophia and Noah. The two chatted about old times for a long while before getting down to business. Sophia actually contacted a lawyer and bailed Liam out. She even sent someone to personally take him home. After arranging for Liam, Sophia declined Noah's invitation to dinner. "Noah, I was gone for a day. My husband will be worried at home. I'll go home first. Let's get in touch another day." Noah instinctively stopped her and blurted out, "Sophia, aren't you getting a divorce from Ethan? I've been waiting for you all these 10 years. Sophia looked puzzled. "Didn't you say you lost your memory for 10 years? Without waiting for Noah to explain, she turned and slipped into the Taylor group to get her car. "Noah, let's talk another day." Watching the car drive away, Noah threw his phone down in sorrow and anger. "This isn't right. Liam is clearly my substitute. Why does Sophia care so much about a substitute? She treats me worse than a stranger. What's gone wrong here? Could it be that pathetic Ethan?" It turned out that Noah had indeed only recently discovered Sophia's identity, and he didn't dare to meet her in person. He was afraid that if they met, Sophia would no longer care about their past relationship. So he found Liam, a stand-in who resembled him by 30 to 40%. Especially the pair of eyes, they were almost identical. Noah had been hiding in the background, watching secretly. What surprised him was that a stand-in for Liam was being doted on by Sophia in every way. She even stirred up a divorce between Liam and her husband. What Noah hadn't anticipated was that Sophia's seemingly useless husband was so powerful in combat. Not only did it leave Liam disfigured, it nearly caused him to die in a car crash. Just as Noah was about to eliminate the worthless Liam, he discovered that Liam had actually contacted an international crime syndicate. Noah went along with it, enabling Liam to successfully put Sophia onto the cargo ship. In the end, he perfectly pulled off a hero saving the beauty act. Shouldn't Sophia be grateful to him and offer herself to repay him? Noah really couldn't understand why Sophia had changed so much. He sighed heavily, feeling that his true self was far inferior to his stand-in. When Sophia returned to her sister's house, she saw Olivia and me sitting on the sofa waiting for her. She instinctively lunged forward and once again knelt before me. I pressed my hand to my forehead and sighed. Olivia turned her head. "Honey, I was wrong again. This really is the last time. Please don't divorce me, okay? I'm pregnant." Her single sentence about being pregnant shocked me. Olivia hurried forward and helped her up. I suspected she was faking the pregnancy. According to the original plot, the author has been tormenting Sophia all along. She never had the time or opportunity to get pregnant with a second child. In the original storyline, the male protagonist, after resurrecting Sophia, the two of them began playing poker again. Could it be because I haven't resisted temptation recently and have been playing poker with Sophia every day? You're pregnant and getting a divorce from me are not mutually exclusive. The child will still be registered under my household, and we'll call our parents Mom and Dad. You can still call me husband or Ethan. Sophia and her sister exchanged a look, brows furrowed, pondering the meaning behind my words. So, basically, I want a divorce without leaving the house. The two sisters simultaneously had the same thought. Scumbag. I could tell what they were thinking just by their expressions. I shrugged with indifference. I'm a house husband. Not handsome, no money. But several mistresses out there want to marry me. Miss Ava Carter has been waiting for years. After hanging up, I pulled out a cigarette. Thought that Sophia might be pregnant, then put it away again. "Sophia, do you know why I insist on divorcing you? Is it because of me?" Sophia begged pitifully. "I've already made arrangements." preparing to sell Liam to South America. Send him away tonight. South America is the global hub for illegal trade. Sophia was ruthless enough, but I couldn't have cared less about Liam, including Noah. I continued, divorcing each other is actually the best outcome for us. I pointed at Sophia. You have a flaw in your character. It's a big problem. You're never satisfied. When we get married and you feel marriage and love are complete, you'll find a stand-in for your white moonlight to fill the void in your heart. You don't understand that regret is the true essence of life. So you will keep chasing one regret after another. Today it's Liam, tomorrow it's Noah. The day after tomorrow it will be other men. Sophia didn't expect me to strip open her inner world, to lay it bare. I never expected that I would actually know about Noah. So today's meeting between her and Noah can't be kept from my husband either. I understand, husband, after the divorce, as long as we never remarry, you will always be the regret in my heart. My heart will never be whole. From now on, I'll only chase after you. Honey, your methods are really sophisticated now. I laughed and cried, but Sophia was right. If the two of us want to be together forever, we can only get a divorce. I looked at Olivia. Of course, I have other options, and so do you. Didn't Noah show up? He's your white moonlight, and he saved you once more, conveniently offering himself. Sophia shook her head and said firmly, I don't love him. On the contrary, I'm instinctively repelled by him. It was too much of a coincidence that he showed up today. I've already arranged for someone to investigate. Honey, in the cabin today, I thought I would never see you again. Even if it's not Noah, even if my father died, I wouldn't leave you. At the sound of his sister cursing their father, Olivia was completely exasperated. I wish I could tear her mouth apart. She took several documents out of her bag and threw them in Sophia's face. Take a look. These are the methods your white moonlight uses. Sophia flipped through the papers. The more she read, the grimmer her expression became, and the hatred in her heart made her drop her act. No more longing for the white moonlight. No more pity for Liam. Hiv. Good. Very good. I was just worried Liam would be lonely by himself. At this moment, Liam was locked inside his own home. Two black-clad bodyguards watched him without leaving his side. A lawyer came just now, holding a stack of documents and asking him to sign. He dared not refuse to sign, nor dared to look at the contents. He only saw that the topmost document was a voluntary property donation agreement. It seemed Sophia really had taken everything she had given him. He didn't know how much time passed before Liam dozed off in a daze. When he woke again, he found himself in a ship's cabin. His whole body was tightly bound, but fortunately there was no rag shoved into his mouth. Awake, Liam? Hearing that, Liam turned his head and saw someone who looked somewhat like him. Noah, Mr. Bennett? What are you doing here? Where is this place? Bound and gagged the same way, Noah sneered. What else could it be? You forgot how you treated Sophia? Liam was instantly terrified, stammering. What she did, it's a crime. You damn. Noah felt like he could just bash his head in. But this idiot managed to get Sophia to seek a divorce. He couldn't argue even if he wanted to. If I'm not mistaken, this ship should be a luxury cruise liner. Our destination is most likely South America. All the scheming has come to nothing. Mr. Bennett, can we still get out of here? Liam lowered his head, hiding the hatred in his eyes. He had originally been just an ordinary person. It was Noah who found him and had him tempt Sophia. Ending up like this now is all because of Noah. But Noah no longer cares what Liam thinks. Why would the dead fight the dead? He still remembered that when he first returned to the hotel, he was preparing his next schemes to win over Sophia. Suddenly, someone knocked him out from behind, and when he woke up, he was here. He has a lot of enemies. But the only person who could have sent him and Liam onto the ship together was Sophia. As expected, a woman's heart can be the cruelest. At most, I only intended to drive a wedge between the husband and wife, but she wanted me dead. Noah had thought he would never see Sophia again in this lifetime. Unexpectedly, 3 days later, on the cruise ship Colosseum, he actually saw Sophia and Ethan. In just a few days, the things were the same, but the people had changed. Sophia had become a spectator. He and Liam had become the prey. They were both wearing sets of ancient Roman-style metal armor. A gag was stuffed in their mouths, barehanded, and their opponent was a male lion that hadn't eaten for 3 days. A battle between humans and beasts had begun. "Honey, don't you think these two look a little familiar?" Sophia pointed at the two men fighting bloody battles and looked at me with a grin. I gave a slight smile. The hateful looks between those two were like tangible blades. How could I not recognize them? Olivia knew the reason her sister had brought them here. She asked me, "Feeling better now?" I hurriedly nodded. "I used to be a staunch booster of tigers. Now I'm a staunch lion too." Sophia and Olivia covered their mouths, giggling, a hint of bloodthirsty madness in their eyes as they looked at me. I was very familiar with this scene. It was a sign that they were about to turn into tigresses. Yes, my waist hurts a bit. To be honest, those two of them are enough, really enough. Sigh. Men all have the desire to keep a harem, but not the emperor's stamina. But Sophia and I were no longer paying attention to what was happening in the arena. "Husband, are you saying I used to be a character controlled by some kind of force? Like the heroine of a book? If one day we could travel into the author's world, I would definitely give him a gift with my own hands." Seeing Sophia's eager expression, I instinctively wanted to pray for the author for 3 days. "Author, you can't wait either, right?"